Hello everyone, welcome to this lecture series on thermodynamics. Today our topic is thermodynamic processes. We all know that a thermodynamic process is a chemical or physical process that takes place in a thermodynamic system which changes the system from an initial state to final state. This is what is known as a thermodynamic process. So in a thermodynamic process, the system returns to its original state, that is the initial state, when all of its macroscopic physical properties resume their original values. Of course, there are different forms of thermodynamic processes. Among them, isobaric and isochoric processes are two such processes. Now today in this video, we are going to discuss two thermodynamic processes, isobaric and isochoric process. So the thermodynamic processes are generally characterized by the thermodynamic variable that is kept constant. Since we are discussing isochoric and isobaric process, let's see what is an isochoric process and what is an isobaric process. So an isochoric process is a process in which the volume of the system remains constant. Here, volume is the variable that is kept constant. So in an isochoric process, volume is the variable that is kept constant. Similarly, coming to an isobaric process, it is a process in which the pressure of the system is constant. That means pressure is the variable that is kept constant in an isobaric process. So let's see the isochoric process. We have already understood that a thermodynamic process taking place at constant volume is known as an isochoric process. It's also known as isometric process or constant volume process. The term isochoric has been derived from the Greek words iso, it means constant or equal, and choric means space or volume. So isochoric means constant volume process, constant volume process. Now, for example, when a gas takes in or gives up the heat in a rigid container of a fixed volume, as in the case of an air conditioner, then this is nothing but an isochoric process. Now, let's calculate the work done by gas in an isochoric process. We know that the volume remains constant in an isochoric process. Now, suppose let's take an ideal gas in a closed rigid container. So we are going to take an ideal gas which is placed in a rigid container, closed rigid container. Now we will allow this gas for heating. That means when we heat the gas, it will raise its pressure without changing its volume. That means the volume is remaining constant. Since it is a constant volume process, the volume is remaining constant. However, the quantity of gas remains constant. That is, the volume is remaining constant. Now, we can further deduce that the increase in energy, that is the heat energy which we are supplying, is proportional to the increase in pressure and also the temperature. Now, this is represented in the PV diagram. Generally, volume is taken on x-axis and pressure is taken on y-axis in the case of a PV diagram. So, this is represented by a vertical line on a PV diagram. Isochoric process is represented by the vertical line on the PV diagram. This represents the initial state. This represents the final state. Now, you can clearly see that at both the initial and final states, the volume is remaining same. That is, Vi is equal to Vf, whereas the pressure is changing. This is changing from Pi to Pf. Volume is remaining constant. So, since the volume does not change, whether the pressure change is positive or pressure change is negative, then the work done by the gas in an isochoric process is zero. That is, in an isochoric process, the area under the PV curve, this is P, this is V, the area under the PV curve is 0. So when the area under PV curve is 0, we know that the area under the PV curve is equal to the work done. So work done is also 0. Also, we can see that PdV is equal to 0 because V is constant, dV will be 0, PdV will be 0. What is PdV? PdV is the work done. So work done in an isochoric process is always 0. So we have seen what is an isochoric process, and we have also calculated the work done by a gas in an isochoric process. Now coming to the isobaric process. So a process in which the pressure of the system remains constant is known as isobaric process. It is also known as constant pressure process. Since the pressure is remaining constant, this isobaric process is also known as constant pressure process. The term isobaric has been derived from the Greek words iso and baros, meaning equal pressure or same pressure or constant pressure. Now, the constant pressure is obtained when the volume is either expanded or contracted. This basically neutralizes any pressure change due to the transfer of heat. The best example of isobaric process is the boiling of water to steam or the freezing of water to ice. Boiling of water, when we allow the water to boil, it gets converted into steam. When we allow the water for freezing, it converts into ice. These two processes are the best examples of isobaric process as the pressure is remaining constant. Now let's try to calculate the work done in the isobaric process. So we have already learned in an isobaric process, the pressure of the gas remains constant. So let's consider a system, and when the heat is transferred to the system, then we can say some amount of work is done. However, there is a change in the internal energy of the system. Now, the work done by the gas is represented on the PV diagram. So this is pressure P and this is V volume by the rectangular area, under the isobaric path of the diagram. Isobaric path on the diagram. So this rectangular area under the isobaric path gives us the work done in the isobaric process. That means for an isobaric process, the area is PdV. This is the area. Area is PdV. The work done is given by the equation P into dV or delta V. So work done is equal to P into delta V. This is the initial state. This is the final state. The volume is changing from Vi to Vf, initial volume, final volume, but the pressure is remaining constant at P. So this is an isobaric process. The area under this isobaric path gives us the work done in the isobaric process. Now in this process, a gas either expands or contracts to maintain the constant pressure, and hence the net work is done by the system or on the system. Whether the area is positive or negative, it depends on whether the gas expands or compresses. So this is the work done in the case of an isobaric process. Now let's distinguish between isochoric and isobaric processes. So we are going to discuss some of the differences between isochoric process and isobaric process. So an isochoric process is a chemical process that takes place in a thermodynamic system under a constant volume. So coming to the isobaric process, an isobaric process is a chemical process that takes place in a thermodynamic system under constant pressure. This is under constant volume. This is under constant pressure. Next, the volume remains constant during an isochoric process. That means there is no change in the volume, that is delta V is equal to 0. Whereas in the case of isobaric process, the volume of the thermodynamic system changes during an isobaric process. The pressure changes accordingly in an isochoric process. The pressure of the thermodynamic system remains unchanged during an isobaric process. The change in pressure or delta P is equal to 0. Here, in the case of an isochoric process, all the transferred heat either converts into internal energy or comes from internal energy during an isochoric process, whereas the internal energy changes during an isobaric process from an initial state to final state. Now, the work done in an isochoric process is 0, whereas the work done is on the, some work is done on the thermodynamic system. So these are the basic differences between isochoric and isobaric processes. Hope you have understood the thermodynamic processes, isochoric process and isobaric process. Now we will have some other thermodynamic processes like isothermal, adiabatic, reversible, irreversible processes in our next videos. And thank you.